collision with purpose, in pursuit of purpose.
Greetings, friends of the A Collision with Purpose movement. Welcome to Bridging Generations, Voices of Men in a Changing World. I am Dr. Laxley Stephenson. This groundbreaking podcast delves into the multifaceted experiences of men across different generations. In an era where societal norms and expectations rapidly evolve, this show offers young and older men a unique platform to voice their challenges, triumphs, and perspectives.
Each episode aims to foster understanding and bridge the gap between generations, exploring themes ranging from masculinity and mental health to career dynamics and personal relationships. By bringing together voices from the varied age groups, the show sheds light on the commonalities and differences in the male experience, encouraging open dialogue and mutual learning. Whether it's a teenager grappling with the pressure of social media or a senior reflecting on the changing definitions of manhood, Bridging Generations is committed to uncovering the real stories of men navigating the complexities of a changing world. I'm Xavier Willcox, one of the hosts. So Doc, what's up?
Man, what's up? What's up? First of all, happy 4th of July. Right?
Yep.
It is the 4th of July. And what's up is we have on screen with us tonight, Mr. Xavier Willcox. I hope I said that right. All the way from Kenya. Right now he's in where? Nairobi?
This is Nairobi, Kenya.
Wow. Welcome to the show, man. Welcome to the show.
Yeah. Thank you.
What time is it in Kenya, by the way?
It's 2:30 now on a Friday morning.
Friday morning. So you're way ahead of us over there, a day out, right?
Yeah. So I think you are 7 hours. You're 7 hours behind.
7
You're
hours.
on 4th of July. So I think this is 4th of July for you, and I'm 5th of July.
Okay, awesome. So we're in two different time zones, but yet we're able to communicate thanks to technology, innovation, and all that good stuff. Xavier, what's up with you, man?
Man, I can't complain. It's just been blessing after blessing. Following with my commitment, saying no. But
How's that going?
Focusing on myself. I just got back from a family vacation, which is why I missed last week. But it's just been a time of, relaxation and, following my purpose.
Wow. What's an awesome thing? Relaxation and following your purpose.
Yeah.
And what an awesome job you're doing with that.
Yep. Trying to.
Well, that's what it's all about. We're always trying. We're always trying, right?
Yeah.
We're always in pursuit of. We prefer to say we're in pursuit of purpose. So, Gaia, what's going on with you in Nairobi? What's going on with you, man? What do you want to share with our audience or listeners, people watching?
Wow. Thank you so much for inviting me to be part of this. It's the second time I'm on the session, Voices of Maine. And yeah, Nairobi says hi. They're really anticipating to have more interactions like this. And being here tonight, I'm sure it's a good opportunity for us to air out what is on people's minds, especially the young generation. In Kenya, it's at the moment when the young people really want to express themselves in different ways, vocally, through media, and through writings. Glad to be at a team whereby we're also having things coming out on publishings and authorships. We have a lot of material being written out. So today, my main thing is just to enlighten people on the usage of media for airing out your grievances, if there is of any kind. And then we also have the maximization of the space we have on the internet, remembering that there was a time when we had a lot of internet media places to use, but then we never used them for the right purposes. But today it's an enlightenment that we shall carry on with what we have to get what we need. What we have now is internet and devices, and what we need is the connections, the people around the world, across the globe. We need to interchange our views, opinions on life issues, things that will matter in the tomorrow's living. So yeah, as a youth, we really need to be out here on the space, get to see what other people are doing, interact, and then build our foundations on the right platforms.
Right. And recently something happened in Kenya. Something very significant happened in Kenya. You want to bring us up to speed with that?
Yeah. So
with the Gen Zs.
The Gen Z is good to know. Yeah, good that you know about this. And I should say this is not an old story. This is something that has just happened a few weeks, for the last 2 weeks, and so to say, it's still an ongoing issue. We have the Gen Zs, and when we say the Gen Zs, we are saying this is the group that comes after the millennials. Millennials are those born in the 90s up to somewhere around 2002, and then any other teenager after 2002, we regard to them as Gen Zs, the Generation Z. And now Gen Zs are a generation that have sparked up a lot of conversations on the internet for the last 2 weeks, and they want to be heard. They have actually stepped up on behalf of the whole nation, and this is not just to represent themselves as a younger generation, but then to make a point that yes, we are the leaders of today. The vibe has been we are the leaders of tomorrow, but then they have changed the narrative to be we are the leaders of today. If we don't do something now, by the time when we step on the positions of leadership, we'll not be able to fully impact the generation. So this is their cry, and it's a cry against infiltration of government resources to the people. It's a cry against imposition of different tools that will somehow not benefit the average Kenyan. Also on things to do with governance, things to do with the young leadership, the leadership that they themselves do not have. And it's also a surprising thing that the Gen Zs don't have a specific leader. The Gen Zs is a group of people who are using the media to put across a message without a leader. It's something that is so unique to find that yes, even without a leader, they are so organized to a point that they can come out and air their message clearly, and then everyone gets to understand. So the issue at hand has been a finance bill. The finance bill is a bill that was put in place and under discussion to be passed by the members of parliament, the legislature, and then be used to cater for our financial year 2024-2025. This is to help our economy stand at a point of budgeting, expenditure, and so on. But then a few things in the finance bill happened to be not of the interest of the citizens. And since we know very well that the most keen generation to be reading some kind of documents in extensive are the young generation, then these are the people who have come out and aired a few things on the documents that need to be rechecked, some things which will have needed to be amended. And because of the group involvement, we had a total cancellation of the finance bill by His Excellency the President, called the bill back and asked for it to be rechecked again. Not just amendment, but the whole bill was recalled back for discussion in the parliament and have it. So this is a result of the Gen Zs coming out, and they did it in a peaceful protest, something which is very rare for young individuals to peacefully demonstrate on the streets and organize with banners, organize with flyers and messages across them, speaking of what they need to be seen, what's needed to be done in the government for a good actually progress of the nation. And we have seen the fruits. We are still in discussion. The president, His Excellency, also has asked for talks to meet with the Gen Zs on the spaces. We have seen the usage of media at this point. Actually, the SpaceX, formerly Twitter, has been widely used with the hashtag reject, hashtag reject, and this is to reject the finance bill 2024. So finally, they got the result of their demonstrations. They got results of their peaceful protests, regardless of a few things which has happened amidst the demonstrations, where whereby there are few goons and people with malicious intentions joined the demonstrations and infiltrated the peaceful demonstrations, using them as grounds for looting people's property and damaging other worth billions, actually worth millions of shillings. It could end up into billions of property in the name of the protest. So we had to. I'm saying we because I'm a Gen Z. I'm a mature Gen Z, so I'm a young millennial who says we ended up calling off the protests and having the protests to wait for a time when we will have to identify who are those using the opportunity for the peaceful demonstrations to come in and do vandalism and loot property from hard-earned citizens' businesses. So far, this is what we have had in the last 2 weeks, and it has been brought to the attention of not just Kenya, but many other African countries that this is the way forward, that yes, we are the people and our voices matter. As on the platform, we know very well that this is for voices of men, but then there is for the voices of the people, there is for the voices of the young generation. If we are bridging the generations between the elderly, the middle age, and the young, then we need to focus on attentive listening to every aspect of talk that is brought ahead. We know that young people might not have the correct way of bringing out their issues, especially those accumulated with or those which are filled with emotions. But if you attentively listen to the young people, you will come to find they still have a point to deliver. And if we give them the attention, then eventually, sure, they will find a way of airing out their issues in an appropriate way. Basically, number one is using the media, using the right channels, like say the right people in leadership, identifying who are these people who can listen to our issues and take them for discussion in the parliament. And so for the show tonight, I would like to encourage every young person watching, whether it's a live watching live now or later on as a recording, that you have a voice and you have a medium of expression. You also have an intellect, you have a brain. So if we put these things together, you use the right mindset to express your issues using the right channels, then it will reach out to millions of people, not just within the reach of those whom you can physically address. But then with the media that we have, it could be Facebook Live, it could be the X Spaces, it could be your YouTube or any other channels. Kindly use them properly to air out information. And as young men of our generation, we would also like to bridge the gap between us and the older men to help each understand what are the challenges that the older generation faced and could not express themselves because probably they never had the correct channels, they never had Facebook. Even if they have Facebook now, they might be not so techy to go on and create a live session. So how do we express their issues using the media that we have at hand? We've seen a lot of things on channels like TikTok where young people, yes, are using them, but for the wrong purposes. But now it is very clear that these are channels that can build our brains, they can connect us, they can bring us together to an understanding. And with so much to be said, I think it will be a good start. We can start with Kenya and then to the rest of Africa. Many African nations have been watching and admiring the actions taken, the instances that have gone through to this point. For a liberation, for anything to come out, it needs courage, it needs brave people, it needs resilience, and it needs risks. Yes, we have to go through risks at some point to bring up something that never existed. That is to fight the stereotypes, to fight things that have been placed on us, that young people, you have to listen, you don't have to talk to older people in such a way. But then as of now, we understand that yes, in as much as you are grown to a certain age, it doesn't matter whether you are older than the other, but what matters is your point of view. If your point of view is acceptable to the community, then we will have to incorporate this. And so then we can bridge the gap between generations and drive our points. Thank you so much.
Okay, thanks for sharing that. I know there's some loss of lives and all that stuff happened there. You know, security forces, they use deadly force to shut down the protests. So all that was happening there. So Xavier, I think we're going to bring on Miss Donna Thompson, our producer, CFO of A Collision with Purpose, to come on for a moment and just talk to us about her new project. So let's bring on Miss Donna Thompson.
All right.
Hi, Donna.
Hi, everyone. Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
Happy 4th.
All right. So, Donna, you have something big going on. And we're gonna stay on screen and we're gonna play a video. And you can let the video play, and after that, you're gonna talk us through it. All right?
Okay.
Tell us what's happening.
Caught in the web of what they said, lost in the expectations, living in hesitation. I walked in other shadows. Deep inside, a fire burned, a whisper turned to a roar. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within, from the shadows to the light. A new life begins, shining so bright. Society tries to mold you into someone you couldn't be, fighting through the darkness to find the real me. No longer bound by others' rules, let your spirit soar. With every step you take, you are stronger than before. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within, from the shadows to the light. A new life begins, shining so bright. Breaking away from the shadows within, I rise up and shine from deep within. Beacon of light, I'll always be, living in truth, walking in victory. I am free, yes I am free, from the shadows to the light. I am free, walking in my truth, forever free, living in victory, shining brightly. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self, breaking chains within, yourself.
Wow. Wow. Donna,
Yeah.
what do you have going on? Breaking chains within. Hmm. I'm going to keep it on screen as you talk. Shine from deep within. Talk to us about your project, Donna.
Yeah. So, this Shadows Within Journey to Liberation, it's what we call an anthology, right? It's going to be where, it's a compiled work of several authors, co-authors. That will be sharing their story. They all get to write a chapter in the book. Um, but we'll be sharing our story about really living a life of existence, of being in other shadows, whether it's our parents shadows or friends, family, husband, wife, children, um, and on a large society, right? Society's expectations of what we should be, what we should become. And at the end of it, you realize that you're not fulfilled. This is not who you are. It's not who you're called to be. And essentially, how you break free from that, your journey in realizing that this is not where you're supposed to be, and breaking free and really becoming liberated and standing up and really saying, this is who I am. And I'm proud of who I am, and I love who I am, and just really beginning to walk in that authentic person that you're supposed to be and you're called to be, so that you can live a real fulfilled life. Oftentimes a lot of us, we get to our 50s and we start reflecting on all the years. I mean, of course, life experiences are great, right? Because gives you wisdom, it molds you and all that stuff, right? But then oftentimes you get to that point in your life and you start looking back, and then you start realizing that there's a lot of regrets. And now so much time has passed and you're running out of time, and you may feel that I may not have time to correct things, or do something different, right? But as long as you're here and you're alive, you're always in a place where you can change your moment. You can change that moment where you are. You can take those life experiences, and you can break free from those things and not live in bondage of those things that may have kept you in a certain place for 20, 30, 40 years. And then whatever amount of time you have left here on earth, you can then live a more fulfilled life, right? And where you want to be. And that's what Shadows Within is all about. It's really just, those things that we think that we're supposed to be doing, whether it's someone telling us or just society, we think this is what we're supposed to be doing, those preconceived notions. And then we essentially get lost. So the stories hopefully will empower individuals to recognize where they are in life, and knowing that, it's okay, right? It's okay to go through things, but how do you come out on the other end so you're not stuck and turning your wheel and keep doing the same thing? And just empower us to do better.
I have a question. I see on the cover there are men, woman, and child, young adults. Is this gender specific, or can anyone?
It is not gender specific. It is not gender specific, because there's one thing that we're the human race, regardless of our gender, and our life experiences is not specific to gender, right? Men, female, children, we all go through these things in life for whatever reason. So no, it is definitely not gender specific. Even our young people, our teenagers, and that's why you can see on the cover, it's like you have a child who's looking out on the world, and how is this shaping this child to become that adult?
What inspired this work?
What inspired this work is that I had myself an epiphany that even though I enjoy serving and giving back and doing things for the community and for humanity, I had an epiphany that there were times when I really was not living my true being. I was always like in someone else's life, their family, their friends, whatever, their circle, and fitting myself into that, into their world, and figuring out how to stay in their world, figure out how to be accepted in their world. And then there comes times when things change, and then you may be shoved aside or treated differently or whatever. Your purpose is served, and you get cast away. And so I realized that for myself, I had missed out on my gifts and really developing my gifts, the things that I was blessed with, and really walking a fulfilled life. And, I figure if I experience those things, I am quite sure there's a lot of people out there who have gone through some of those things, and, just even family expectation, saying this is what I expect, this is what you ought to do, this is what you're supposed to become, da 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 da, and all, everything else. And and I realized that I really did not walk in the path that I desired for my life, and I knew that I was gifted with, right? I knew that I know that I did not. Is it too late? No, because I'm happy that I realized that. So now I have the opportunity to redefine that and do something different. Now I'm wiser. Of course, I am grateful for those experiences, but nevertheless, I'm happy that I'm at a place where I realize that I need to make that change, and I can make that change, and I am empowered to make that change. And it's okay for me to make that change and stand in my true self, making that change.
Absolutely. And, Shadows Within, how can someone watching this program tonight become a part of this project? How can they, join this project?
So if this resonates with you, definitely you can reach out to me. I'll throw my contact number in the chat, and you can definitely email me at dlthompson2009@gmail.com.
Okay, awesome. So we'll put that in the chat. So Xavier and Gaia, do you have any questions for Donna? Anything else you'd like to know about this project?
Oh, I'll go ahead. So, not particularly any questions, but I just want to give words of encouragement. For someone that's known you all of my life, I'm so happy and proud of you to take these steps to go ahead and write this book that you're going through with doing. I've heard you talk about it many a times, and now to see you putting the proof in the pudding and doing it, I'm very proud of you.
Thank you. That means a lot.
Gaia, any questions for Donna?
Yeah, Donna, this is a good one. I'm so impressed. The moment I saw the cover, there was a time I rang Donna and I saw the cover on her phone, on her contact saved. There is shadows within. So I kept asking myself, what is this? All of a sudden there are shadows, and not just shadows, but within. So for a shadow to be there, they have to be light, and there have to be an obstacle covering the light for there to be a shadow. Shadows could be good for a shelter. Shadows could be good for protection, like an umbrella. So the umbrella gives a shadow for protection against whatever, if it is sunlight, if it is the rainfall. And here Donna gives me an inspiration that, yeah, sometimes we have shadows that could be from within our family members, they are from within our organizations, or from within our involvement areas of occupation and influence. And then I came to think of it deeply and understood that, yeah, once this is out, I would really like to get deeper and understand what it is about. But what I have on my opinion is all of us have grown up under somebody's wings. All of us have grown up under somebody's shadow. And it could have been a protective one. At some point, it could have been a shadow to deny us from accessing the light. So in both ways, the shadows within gives us, they give us a spectrum of growth. And if you noticed in in any of your biology studies, a canopy is only formed if a tree is denied of light. So it strives to be taller than the other tree and access the light. So those are the effects of shadows. And I'm pretty sure even the cover itself speaks out. We have some tall figures of people there across the street walking around. And I can say that, yeah, for these shadows to be there, it is a significant thing for our growth, that for any shadow to be there, it's for us to strive and see the light. It will give us a height that the moment we come out of the canopies, we'll have a different point of view of things away from the normal people. So thank you so much, Donna, for this amazing work. And I'm sure I'm still going to learn a lot from that. Keep it up.
You're very welcome.
Donna, I have another question. Talk to us about time frame.
Sure. So we are looking to launch this book in spring of 2025. The writing process is it's approximately 3 months between writing, editing, and getting all the work together, and pretty much compiled and put together and submit for editing and formatting. That process is about like 3 months or so. And then, it comes back to you. And if there's things that you need to correct, you have the opportunity to review it and things of that nature. So that whole process from the writing period to the publishing period, it just depends on when you get the work back. You're looking, anywhere from, 3 to 5 months, right? And then, then you go to publishing, and then you go to launch it. But I am looking to launch this in spring of 2025.
Okay.
And I know if anyone who is in Kenya, I'm quite sure they have a story, so they're more than welcome to join. It doesn't matter where you are. You're definitely welcome to join the work.
So there's no gender barrier, no geographic barrier. This is a global initiative that Donna is undertaking here. So we encourage you. The DL Thompson 2009 at gmail.com is on the screen. Reach out to Donna. This is one of those type of event that you don't want to miss. You want to be a part of it. You want to be on this journey of unveiling that shadows within. As I understand it, it's a big deal. And as Donna said earlier, her inspiration was her own experience, own life experience. So what else can you ask for, right? Telling it like it is. And it's coming from a place of, I've walked that walk. I've been there. So Donna, we're going to ask you to stay on.
Okay.
Yeah, because you have some more stuff to talk about. In fact, I want to just pivot now to real quick. Tell us a little bit about Today with Donna.
Okay, sure. So Today with Donna will be, of course, another program that will be under the A Coalition umbrella. And, this is where, I'll just basically be having conversations with everyday individuals, right? And the theme is really to talk to people about where they are in life and how did they get to where they are. And if that's their destination, if they're comfortable where they are, if they're happy where they are, and if they're not, what they would desire to do differently. And so that's just really a very open discussion. Like I said, with everyday people, it could be with, Xavier, it could be with Gail, it could be with Doc, it could be with the homeless person in the street, it could be with a mechanic. There is no, once again, there is no specificity as far as the group that I'll be speaking to. But the main thing is really just talking to people and trying to get out there, that sometimes you are, a situation happened to you in life and you end up somewhere, right? You end up somewhere, and giving people an opportunity to speak about that. Speak about their path, their journey, how they got to where they are. Because sometimes, you have people who they They may not have access to talk to someone, right? Or they're not comfortable to speaking with someone. But there's times when you speak, you talk out what's going on in your head, you talk out your life, and something may click and you say, you know what? I can do something different. And not just that you can do something different, but the person that is hearing your story will more than likely, something will resonate with that person. And they can see themselves and say, oh, wow, that's me. This is what I can do different. So I don't get here, or I get here, or this is the right path. So that's what today with Donna is all about.
So now you don't have to talk to yourself. You can
Mhm.
talk to Donna. You can tell Donna your story, right? And how important is that? You're not just telling your story because you just want to talk about you, but because your story will have implications for others as well. So again, we are rapidly approaching our 2-year anniversary, Donna. You've been here since day one. So have I. And we are rapidly approaching our 2-year anniversary. And for that, we're looking at a number of new projects, right? The old ones still exist. We still have Unearthing You out there. We're putting together the workshop. We have a Collision with Purpose, In Pursuit of Purpose. Powerful, powerful stuff. We're getting ready to do some more stuff with that. So we have that. Now we're looking at Shadows Within. It was a new project. We also have some other things happening. So we're going to stay on screen, and I'm going to play Shadows Within to take us on break, but we'll be on screen, okay? We'll be on screen.
Beacon of light, I'll always be living in truth, walking in victory. I am free, yes, I am free. From the shadows to the light, I am free. Walking in my truth, forever free. Living in victory, shining brightly. I am liberated from walking in other shadows. I walk in my authentic self. Breaking chains with self.
Wow. Walking in my authentic self. Man, what a place to be. Talk about liberation, right?
Yeah.
Talk about liberation. Thanks, Donna, for that. Donna, is that you singing?
Oh my goodness gracious.
Yeah.
That is not you singing, okay? Let me just say that.
That's not you singing. Today's show, we intended to do Becoming Iron, but there's so much going on, and we're missing some members because of, it's 4th of July. So we're going to commit the rest of this month to Becoming Iron, right? And, and just that whole thing about Tales of Courage and Conviction. So we'll come back to that next week. We have Hello Joan Eldorado. It's good to have you on. Thanks for jumping on. So Donna, again, we are starting next week. We will be focusing on Becoming Iron, Tales of Courage and Conviction. And that's going to be a big deal. We'll talk a little bit more about that tonight. But before we go there, there's something else happening, something big, right? Just today, this thing became official. The pre-order. We're now taking pre-orders for this thing here. And I'm going to post a link. I'm going to post a link in the chat. Because this is indeed a huge, huge deal. And having done other books, and now doing this one, I am so proud of this work. So proud of this work and what we can achieve here with this work. So again, Donna, I'm going to ask you to help me out in this and just say a little bit about Daily Insights Unveiled.
Oh, wow. Daily Insights Unveiled. I am just going to say, go ahead and click on that link and pre-order your copy today. You know, it's just like the subtitle said, a personal odyssey to find your purpose. When you open this book, regardless of where you start, there is something in here that is going to resonate with you and where you are in your life today. And something that's going to say, hey, am I at the right place once again? And you're going to find words of empowerment, words of encouragement, words to, if you're in a stuck place, words to move you from stuck, where there's no movement, to where now you'll be moving, even just one step ahead, right? So, you know, it's a powerful piece of work. So I definitely encourage everyone to, you know, pre-order your copy, because this is something that, honestly speaking, you're going to have it by your bedside. You're going to have it in the car with you. You know, it's a work that if you're ever feeling down, you're feeling some kind of a way, you can pick this book up and you can turn somewhere in this book that is going to uplift you and definitely put you on the right path for your day. So pre-order your copies today.
Thank you, Donna. So again, this is a collection of daily meditations and conversations. And it's all designed to inspire, challenge, and guide you, the reader, towards uncovering your true purpose. And in a sense, in essence, to completely transform your perspective about yourself and about life in general. Now, each conversation is going to offer a fresh insight into crucial topics. And some of the topics that we cover in this book is self-discovery and identity, resilience and personal growth, living with purpose and integrity, gratitude and kindness, hope and positivity, wellness, and how important is wellness, right? And advocacy, right? Gaio talked about what happened in Kenya with those Gen Zs. That's all about, you know, advocacy, right? And we're talking about leadership and just the pursuit of, you know, of your own passion, what is important to you. So I would say that every single step, every page in this book will offer you some level of deeper understanding and self-realization. So no matter what, whether you're seeking clarity in your career, relationship, or spiritual path, each odyssey, as we call it, right, serves as a gentle yet powerful guide. You know, it's written with the belief that every single individual can uncover their unique calling. So, you know, I'll say that this book encourages you to explore the depths of your being, engage with life's challenging questions, and cultivate a life rich with intention and meaning. So that's what I would say. I'll tell you, you cannot afford not to be the owner of this book. It is that important. This important. So, you know, again, I said it's a catalyst for your personal growth, and it is an essential companion for anyone who wishes to live a more purpose-driven life filled with passion and perseverance. So, highly recommended. This book will be available in December of this year. In 2024, right? Yeah, so it will be available. So, Donna, is there anything you want to add? And I'm going to open the floor to Xavier and to Gaio for them to speak on about this book.
Like we said, you know, I just say definitely, you know, go ahead and pre-order your copy today. And, you know, it's actually going to be at the forefront of our 2025 colloquium, which is going to be very powerful. So I would say get your copy today and come prepared for an event in February.
Yeah. The colloquium will be built around this book. Yes, it will be built around this book. Hey, Gaia, Elder Joan is saying hi to you.
Hey, Joan. Thank you. I've received this.
All right, so we have that going on, right? But another big thing that is happening, and again, we're on the brink of celebrating our 2-year anniversary. And because of that, we've decided we need to continue to grow and continue to build out the company. And so we're doing Shadows Within, we're doing Daily Insights Unveiled, but we're also doing this thing here. And I'm going to play a video. So Donna, please stay on.
Okay.
They find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowerment fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The inspired man knows where he belongs. Together they rise, conquering fears. Becoming iron through trials and tears. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Becoming iron, shining in the night. In the tales of old and the battles new, convictions light sees them through. From abysses deep to the morning light, they become mine. In the endless fight, becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Becoming iron, shining in the night. In the tales of old and the battles new, convictions light sees them through. From abysses deep to the morning light, they become mine. In the endless fight, becoming iron with hearts forged in fire. Tales of courage and conviction rising even higher. Displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Man becoming iron, shining in the night.
You're on mute. Not hearing you. Okay, so we're not hearing.
Okay, I'm back. I was on mute there for a moment. I was getting some feedback and I was wondering if it was my mic. So Donna, becoming iron. And I'm going to move it to Xavier, because I know he came here prepared tonight to talk about one of the category in this book, which is the brave man. And indeed, he is a brave man. So Xavier, let's hear from you.
Yeah, well, becoming iron and becoming a brave man, it can mean many things. And I see this book going into a lot of different aspects of it, because what I spoke about in the beginning of starting this podcast, the stereotype of what a brave man is, and some of the perspectives that people see of a brave man and how it's changing. Because like we say, how Gen Z is kind of changing everything. I kind of fall in with Gen Z a little bit, but I was raised by millennials, and what's the generation before millennials? I think they're Generation X. But being raised by those people and seeing how that kind of shift is going to change for the new era and what the new brave man looks like. Because back in our day, the brave man was the one that could, well, not our day, because y'all are older than me, but the brave man was the one that was the breadwinner going out. If something happened, he was the one to protect and doing all that. That's probably going to shift from now on, because now we have people. Now you have the gender inclusive things, and not saying that being a strong, independent woman is a great thing, but sometimes you need to be submissive enough to where you have a man to be brave enough, I guess you could say. I don't want to get attacked in the comments or anything, but
Put it out there. Put it out there.
but yeah, because like now, is there gonna be a brave man? Would that be a brave man? Because you have a woman doing all the brave things, the manly things. Now, is there? Now, is there anything that can kind of? Gosh, I gotta write things down more. I'll try to go off the dome and then I get lost. But what I'm trying to say is, being the brave man and how the transition from the stereotypes and the new way of what a classic man or what a man should be, how that changes over the years and through the generations, and bridging the generations. I feel like that's where I'm going to stop. I don't I talk too much.
No, that's fine, Xavier. You're doing just what you should do. So this is what this thing is all about, right? Becoming Iron: Tales of Courage and Conviction. It's a powerful collection of life's events that illuminate bravery, empowerment, inspiration, and resilience. And at the end of the day, it all culminates into the unwavering spirit of men from all walks of life. Again, and this book honors the essence of masculinity. So you can't be afraid to say it. It is what it is. It honors the essence of masculinity. And that is a trait that unites us all, right? So again, it's a reminder that your odyssey, we're all men and we're all together in whatever struggle, in whatever success is, whatever it is that we're going through. So it's a reminder that your personal odyssey is not solitary, but part of a larger narrative of resilience, courage, and conviction. So, as we're looking, within these pages that will become this book, Becoming Iron, you will discover tales of the brave man, which is what we're talking about, and that is the man who faces the darkest nights. And Xavier, as you was talking about that, I could see that there was you was a little bit not wanting to say certain things, right?
Yeah.
But you must face the darkest nights, whatever it is. You must bring it out, right? And then we have the empowered man who's going to fight with all his might, no matter what. And we're talking fighting for a cause, a good cause, not just fighting for the sake of fighting. And then there's a resilient man who stands unwavering and strong, no matter what. And last but not least is the inspired man who knows exactly where he belongs. So these are the categories in this book. And the essence of it all is that we're all in it together. So it's not a statement that you're making that men, as a man, you're this or you're that. It's a statement that as men, we have responsibilities. We have our work to do, and we need to become better men. And that's what Becoming Iron is all about. It's about facing the odds, facing those challenging times. Whatever it is, it's how you use your courage and conviction to do what is good for your family, your community, and the world at large. So I'm going to turn this to you, Gaio, to talk to us about how you perceive that brave man to be.
Thank you so much. So this is a compilation of stories from people who are inspired, people who are convicted, people who are courageous, and this is a kind of people of the masculine nature who have overcome challenges, life challenges, beaten the odds to stand against the test of times. And I'm one of those people. I've tried to group myself while listening to Doc. I've tried a lot to group myself. Am I a brave man? Am I a resilient man? Or am I a convicted, inspired man? But I find I'm all of them, because just like any other man out there, we've come through a lot, and I believe this is something that people are really going to benefit from. Elder Joanne says it's a blueprint for men. So yeah, indeed, it's a blueprint for men. Every man out there, you should check this out. This is a blueprint for every man who is still even struggling to come out of the bracket in the society of sometimes how to express themselves. I'm sure we all remember the conversation we had here on February, I think, with Juan Marcel and the team that is not present today. We were having conversations on the taboos or the things which are somehow thought that a man should not do, like a man should not cry, that a man should not do this and that. And we learned a lot from there, that there are things that men need to overcome in the back. Now, looking at the brave man, I had so many stories from myself, but today I would like to handle a figure called Gideon. This is a biblical figure called Gideon, who did not actually start out as a shining example of courage. And as we can see from his first part of the story in the Bible, he displayed a definite lack of courage. He was hiding from the Midianites who were tormenting his people. And Gideon had lost his hope because of these hard times that the people were going through. And he was feeling abandoned by God when an angel of the Lord appeared to him and greeted him. So the Lord is with you, valiant warrior. That's what the angel told him. And at some point, you need an angel to tell you that you are a valiant warrior. You have this, you have the bravery in you, you have the courage in you, but somebody needs to inspire you. Somebody needs to bring it out of you as a man for you to understand. This is a book that is actually, it's a topic that is going to bring out the entire essence of you as a man coming out and shining your light in the community. And now poor Gideon didn't know what to think when the Lord spoke such surprising words through the angel and telling Gideon to deliver Israelites from the Midianites with strength that he had. You know, he thought that God was going to kill him, and he was told not to be afraid, for he will not die. Somebody needs to tell you as a man that wherever you are going, it is a risk. It is a terrible thing to be courageous. It is a terrible thing to be brave. And for once, I would like to quote, being brave is not the absence of fear. Being brave means there is fear, but then you can maneuver through the fear and overcome. This is also seen through other figures, like we have Daniel and his 3 friends who were in the fire at Nebuchadnezzar's hostage. And they didn't fear being in the fire. Yes, they went through the fire, but then they came out because they had a 4th person. That was Meshach, Shadrach, and Abednego. Now, I use these mostly as my reference points because these are the things that inspire me to see that even regardless of the challenges that we have, still we can overcome. And continuing with the story of Gideon, God told him what to do, and he did it. Sometimes you have to do what you're told. If you are told to go into a battle of life challenges, you have to go in through it. And Gideon was still fearful, of course. As I said, there's no absence of fear in being brave. But then he obeyed God, tearing down his father's Baal altar and cutting down the Asherah pole beside it. These were some altars that had been built. And although he did it during the night, not wanting anyone to know it was him, he still did it. Yeah. So timings doesn't matter when it comes to bravery. You can choose your way of approach. And now this is Gideon afterwards, who built an altar to God and he made a sacrifice with fire from the wood that was taken from the pole of Asherah that he had just destroyed. When we say some things that you do become your stepping stone. And he was also instructed to do that. And now Gideon blows the trumpet, summons the army. He never knew he had the army. Men gather around and beyond, numbering to up to around 30 plus thousands. There was 32,000 men. At this point now, the Lord starts narrowing down Gideon's army. He says, there are too many. And after that, he tells Gideon to send home all the men who were afraid. These are about 10,000. And after another weeding out by God, he was down to 300 men. So you can imagine from 32,000 men to 300 men going into a battle. It needs bravery. It needs courage. It needs resilience. It needs somebody who believes in themselves, somebody who is inspired, or rather who is motivated. Before I do any business with somebody, I ask them, what motivates you? What motivates you into doing this business? Is it just because you need money? If money is your motivation, I can pay you money and leave the business alone. Then you see, if you know, let it be a legit motivation to fight for a cause. And you see, this is now Gideon's story. All of a sudden, the camp of the Midianites, numbering up to 135,000 people against Gideon, 300 people, was just over the hill. And God tells Gideon to go down to the enemy camp. He goes. And while there, he heard the Midianites talking about how scared of Gideon they were. And it gave him the confidence he needed. Just by hearing what people talk about you, you pick out the positive, and it will give you the courage as a man. It will give you the conviction. When we say faith without action is dead, as a believer, as a Christian, we stand on the fact that yes, with action, our faith is alive. But then there is no action without conviction. You can have the faith, but if you're not convicted of the faith, there is no action. And here is now Gideon, an example who puts everything that he's been told into action. And it gives him even more confidence when he hears that the Midianites are scared of him. So he first worshipped God, and then he goes to work, on the battle plan laid out by the Lord himself. They set out the whole enemy army to fight. He trusts in the power given to him by God, and he remarkably becomes a warrior. He becomes a mighty warrior. So this is the ending of Gideon's story, where he created more problems for himself later in life, but he died at an age, and at an older age, having ruled over Israel for 40 years of peace. You mark that part. 40 years of peace. So there is a cause that someone fights for, and there is an end goal. Being brave has an end goal. Being courageous has an end goal. And for this particular one, I think it's very important that we stay tuned in for February next year at a colloquium, 2025, when we will get the whole blueprint laid out for us to go through each point and find which part do I fall in. There will be a number of things coming through those pointers in becoming iron, and I believe every man out there has to be empowered through this. If you follow much of what Dr. Laxley has been doing with the program Voices of Men in the Changing World, that is bridging generations, you will understand it is one of the processes of somebody to become iron. And parting shot, also we have a pointer that says iron sharpens iron. So a man sharpens the countenance of his friend. That's why we don't have Xavier alone here. That's why we don't have Dr. Laxley alone here. And that's why we don't have Donna alone here. We all of us together, because as we rub on each other's idea, that's how we fine tune our becoming. And for any kind of sword to be sharp, it needs to be rubbed against another metal or another object for them to be sharp. So this is what we learn as a man. Walk with somebody, look up to somebody to mentor you, look up to somebody to guide you, look up to somebody who is inspired like Dr. Laxley here. Look at somebody who has laid up a foundation. We have just covered a few things before, the daily insights, things that are applicable in your daily life. If you open any page of the daily insights, which is found, if you check on the Collision with Purpose YouTube channel, you'll get a link to a pre-order of the book. And these are things that shape you as a man to bring the real you out, to bring the real Gideon in you, to bring the real Xavier in you, to bring the real Gaio in you out, and then conquer the world. First, start conquering yourself, then you can conquer the world. And that's my take.
So thank you, Gabe. So, Donna, I'm going to ask you to jump in on becoming iron from a different perspective. So love to hear from you.
Oh wow! I was so engulfed in Gaia that my brain is like. So once again, like we said, everything that you said, I totally agree with you. But I think this body of work is really going to impact a lot of our men, young, old, just like we said, the various generations in men, because we know that our men, a lot of our men have gone through some things. They've gone through some things in life, and it has shaped them into who they've become. And some of it, painful, traumatic, all these different things that may have happened to them. But I find that we don't necessarily have the platforms and the forums for our men to share their journey and their stories, and the things that the molding, all the hard things that they've gone through, the melting, the breakdowns, all these things that they have gone through to produce the product of them now becoming, stronger, becoming iron in who they are. So I think this work will give a lot of our men who join with Dr. Laxley to share their story, the opportunity to really speak about that process, and other individuals, who read the stories. I'm quite sure once again they will learn that, hey, even if you're a man and you're going through this stuff, there's something positive, there's something good on the other side, right? Going through this molding and all the hardship, it's going to make you into this person that is just so invincible. It's going to make you into a stronger person, and it's really building character in who you are. But being able to share it is where I think becoming iron is definitely going to be a great body of work.
Thank you, Donna. Your perspective is so important for a number of reasons. One thing I would say about this book, it will participation will be by invitation only. This is how important this work is, for me personally. It will be by invitation only. So if you receive that invitation from me, I expect that you're going to jump on board, because I will only send it to people who I believe, who I know will have, who live in that life, of courage and conviction. And it's so important that becoming iron is so important to them, because in essence, this book is a tribute. It's a tribute to fathers, to sons, to brothers, and to all our friends out there who embody the true spirit of manhood, right? So becoming iron is really a testament to every man's extraordinary potential to rise above challenges and to stay true to their convictions, and emerge from that even more vital than ever before, whatever that means, right? Because you're a better father, you're a better neighbor, you're a better brother, you're a better everything that is good for society. And that's what this is all about. So in essence, it is a wellspring of inspiration that empowers you to live courageously with conviction, and it also encourages you to excel beyond all expectations. Beyond all expectations. So it's not just a book, in my opinion. It is a tool. It is a tool for your personal growth and empowerment. And it's here to inspire you to reach new heights and become the best version of yourself. That's what this is all about, becoming iron. So, Xavier, I'm going to turn it back to you.
Yes. You still want my perspective on becoming iron?
That's what we're talking about, becoming iron, yes. Mm-hmm.
All right. Well, I'm just excited to see the book, see what it entails. I've received one of those invitations. We're going to see what happens with that. I'm going to do my best to get that done so I can be one of those people that are, hey, Daniel. But yeah, one of those people to share the story, and hopefully you guys get to see a different side of me. But I'm excited to see all of the other stories of how you've been mended to become iron, and what the steps that it took, because I'm still in the process of becoming iron, I believe, or I might already be iron, that I just don't see it just yet. Might need a little bit of cleaning to see the iron, but yeah, just ready to see everything.
Well, and again, this is about stories, tales of courage and conviction. So it's about being very assertive, being very definite, knowing who you are. It's about, you say that you know where you stand in your struggles. It's not about perfection.
Mm-hmm.
It's about walking through that fire. They say the brave man faces what? The
The
darkest
darkest
night
night.
and emerge. So this is not about being timid. It's about walking because you know where you belong. Right? It's not about where you are right now. It's where you're heading. Where you're heading. So we are pretty much at the end of tonight's show. We're gonna wrap it up. So I'm gonna go around the room. I'm gonna make this real quick, So I will start with Gaia because we need to get out of here. Today is 4th of July, and we're not gonna stay on here too long. So just make this real quick, Gaia. Just give me your final thoughts, please.
Wow. So this is really amazing, and at this point, I believe we have covered enough to give it an understanding of what it is, what it entails for a man to become iron. I like quoting what people say most of the time, and we had last week somebody mention the stages at which are involved, the stages involved to make iron. Iron is mixed up with a certain of impurities to make it iron. I think that was Yuan, and he mentioned that the impurities are the one that makes it iron. So I'm part of the team that is under the molding. I'm under smelting. I'm being smolden into iron, and the becoming process is not an easy process. There are many issues that I've come through as a man, and there are many issues that, yes, even through the grace given to me by God, that I'm part of the steering committee to get these stories compiled together. I believe my story will impact somebody's life. It will make them understand that it's not where you're coming from, it is where you are heading. And most of the times when we look at where we are coming from with the perspective of regret or seeking sympathy, that we will not be able to forge ahead clearly to where we are heading. There also needs to be a point of courage where I can say, as a man, you need to be courageous to handle things as they are. Let a spade be a spade. Let us handle and let us be accountable to our lifestyles. Let us be accountable to the things that we take into consideration as we live this life. That is the only way we shall become iron, and we shall be ready for use. So yeah, before we become pure, we have to get in the impurities and see how can we blend in our challenges and come through victorious as overcomers. Thank you.
Thank you, Gaia. Xavier, final thoughts?
Yeah. So we went over a lot of different projects that are coming. Collision with Purpose is busy, and busy is good. So just be on the lookout, everybody. A lot is coming, and a lot is good.
a lot more is coming. You're absolutely right. We have 2 new programs to announce. We didn't announce them tonight, but this entire month, both shows, In the Spotlight and Bridging Generations, will be talking about a Collision with Purpose business. The focus will be on a Collision with Purpose business. Why? We're rapidly approaching our 2nd year anniversary. August will make 2 years that we're in business. So we're going to build up to that, and we will have a big celebration in August. We will. So Donna, final comments?
Well, like always, I want to say, of course, thank the viewers, of course, for definitely jumping on with us and listening to us. But I am proud to be a part of a Collision with Purpose. I am proud of the work that we have done. I'm proud of the work that is ahead of us. I know that what we're doing is going to impact a lot of lives, and it's going to change a lot of lives. And so I'm very proud of that, Gaio. I'm happy that you joined us, and I'm very happy that you'll be a part of Dr. Laxley's work, Becoming Iron, because once again, a lot of these things that we experience in life, it's not just in one geographical area, right? It's it's international, it's global, because we are human, so we all have experiences. So I'm happy that A Collision with Purpose is here, and it's a platform where we're so open and, to have people come and share, right? And share, and we're trying to just make people lives better and help them where they are to get to a better place. So I'm just proud to be here.
Well, thank you, Donna. Let me begin by saying that this wouldn't happen if you were not here. None of this would be happening, right? All them long conversations, all them hours we put into this. Well, late into nights, we're having conversation. How can we make this thing better? How can we just make it better? And so we, just really appreciate everything that you're doing as an owner and CFO and number one supporter. My number one supporter in this initiative. And so what can I say? None of this would have happened. We wouldn't be where we are today if Donna was not present in this initiative. So appreciate you so much. And I also want to say, Xavier, thanks for coming on board and for doing all that you're doing. You have added a whole different dimension. You bring your youthfulness, even though sometimes you don't believe you're that young, but you are, and you bring that energy and all that you bring. And I really appreciate it because it's making a huge difference. It's a different perspective that you add to what we're doing. So I think that Becoming Iron is perfect. It's a perfect fit for you. No matter what you're saying about you've not done what, you're in like flint, like iron. So just understand that, and that's where we have conversations, right?
Yeah.
That's where we have conversations, but you walk with courage and conviction. So continue to do that. And nobody said it was going to, no one said it was going to be easy, right?
That's right.
We promised that. And if it was easy, you wouldn't want to do it.
That's right about that.
Okay? We're not about easy. We're about what is going to bring us the returns and rewards that we seek, whatever that is, right? And easy often won't bring that. Everything is to walk where others they fear to walk, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's the path we're here to take, a collision with purpose. That's what our business is about. And Gail, I appreciate you coming on, jumping in, and taking on wanting to be a part of this project and is a part of this project. And I know that what you will bring will add immense value to the project because you're bringing it from a whole different perspective, different culture, different way of life, right? And it's about, again, as I say, we're all in this together, right? It's about manhood. It's about masculinity in a positive way. It's about becoming better fathers, better brothers, better everything. Husbands, whatever it is that a man is supposed to do, right? And doing it in a way that it should be. So we appreciate you coming on. And Xavier, you want to take us out? Say goodnight to our viewers. You want to take us out?
Well, this has been Bridging Generations, Voices of Men. I'm Xavier Willcox. You've been graced by Dr. Laxley Stephenson, Ms. Donna Thompson, and Gaio T. Wakoli. Peace. We're out.
Peace. And we'll go out with our...
In the forge of life where strong survive, a tale is written of hearts that strive. Through fire and flame they find their way, becoming iron where courage holds sway. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire, tales of courage and conviction rising even higher, displaying strength in the fiercest fight. Becoming iron, shining in the night. The brave man faces the darkest night. The empowerment fights with all his might. The resilient man stands unwavering and strong. The inspired man knows where he belongs. Together they rise, conquering fears, becoming iron through trials and tears. Becoming iron with hearts forged in fire, tales of courage and conviction. changing